There's a moment, usually late at night, when the house is completely still. No traffic, no voices, just that quiet hum of the world asleep. And then you sense it. Not a sound, not movement exactly, just the unmistakable feeling that you are no longer alone. Out of the corner of your eye, something shifts. A shape that shouldn't be there, too dark to be a shadow, too solid to be imagination. Gone the second you try to focus on it. For centuries, people across cultures, beliefs and backgrounds have reported the same experience. They call them shadow people. Are they tricks of a tired mind, fragments of dreams bleeding into waking life? Or are we catching glimpses of something that was never meant to be seen? Tonight, we step into that darkness and ask what might be standing there with us.
Hello, Yvonne here, Ghost Watchers Northwest. Welcome back. Tonight's topic is shadow people. What are shadow people and how are they often described? So, what is a shadow person? As it says in the name, it's a shadow of a figure. But often they're described as solid shadow figures, or, misty figures, or even a mass that's forming into something.
Shadow people are usually described as being really black silhouettes of people, often blacker than the night itself. People often say that they are featureless, so they have no features, but they do bring a strong sense of awareness about them, so emotions can often be connected to the shadow people. You'll often see shadow people in corridors, doorways, or they will be stood watching. Some people have witnessed shadow people at the end of the bed just watching. Often they're just watching and don't interact with you. They tend to move quickly when you notice them, or they vanish very quickly. So this phenomenon of shadow people, one thing makes me wonder is why so many people experience very similar things and they see very similar things. If it's just purely imagination, or is this something paranormal?
Have I ever witnessed seeing shadow people? I believe this is yes, whether I did or not, I don't know. Whether it was real or not, I don't know. So it's happened quite often. You'll be doing something, washing pots, or just doing something, normal day-to-day things, and then in your parallel vision, you see something dark go past you, past you. You look again, and there's nothing there. Also, I have experienced sleep paralysis, so that one there was, I was being pinned down, I couldn't move, I couldn't talk, but floating above me was like a dark mass of a figure, but it had no face, but it had red eyes. Also, I do believe we may have captured a picture of the Hat Man. It was when we went to Newsham Park, and I think Rebecca was taking pictures, just putting the camera in an empty room and flashing a picture off. And when we were looking at them after, in one of them, I think it was a cinema room. It was down in the basement near the cinema room, one of the rooms off the cinema room. There's a shadow on the shadow in the picture of a figure with a hat on, so we believe that could have been Hat Man.
Have I ever witnessed any shadow people, and what happened? The answer to that question is yes, I have witnessed shadow people on numerous occasions. This includes photographic evidence at Newsham Park, where we caught the Hat Man, like a picture of a silhouette of the Hat Man. Was it just the Hat Man, or was it just like a shadow of something that looks like the Hat Man, I don't know. But in that particular area, people had also witnessed seeing shadows in the corridor, shadow silhouettes of people. Many times personally I've seen shadow people, so I've woke up and seen a shadow at the end of my bed or in the bedroom. I've seen shadow people in the corner of my eyes where you've glanced and you've seen a shadow. We've seen a shadow, we've had a member of our team witness a shadow in a mirror. There's been numerous times where we have actually witnessed or seen shadow people.
Watch the following clip carefully. Look closely at the stalls at the back. Look to the left-hand corner. There appears to be a shadow figure moving. Interestingly, the shadow figure appears to disappear before the cat ball turns off.
Personally, I do find seeing shadow people as a paranormal investigator a very common thing that we do come across. So it's something that we will see quite often. Don't always capture evidence of it, but we do see it with our eyes ourselves. However, it's something that can be explained. It's not always easy to debunk, but it is definitely something that as paranormal investigators we come across quite regularly. Another time that I recall seeing a shadow person, and I did get a very bad vibe, negative feeling, was at Antwerp Mansion. Now, it was just myself and Yvonne in this mansion. We hired the mansion to ourselves to investigate, and I do recall seeing a shadow in one of the rooms, and it really just made me feel really uneasy. And I saw the shadow kind of like darting across the room. So it tends to be very much like that. I know my husband Matt, he is also a paranormal investigator. He has his YouTube channel, Pagan Paranormal Explorer. He hasn't actually uploaded in a long time, but he himself has seen shadow people quite often as well. And I think if you speak to any paranormal investigator, it is a common thing that we do come across.
Are shadow people encounters paranormal, or could they be explained by sleep paralysis? I think there could be any, really, couldn't there? There could be a mix. So, like in the paranormal field, people see black masses, forming into something, things peeking around corners, the Hat Man and things like that. So, I'd say a demonic or malevolent entity. Like I said, in my own experience, I've had the shadow floating over the top of me. Or it could even just be your eyes or your mind playing tricks on you. You could be scared, you could be dark, you could be scared, you could be spooked, and then you're just looking at so hard that you're seeing these dark shadows. So, like I said, could be a mix.
Okay, next question. Are shadow people encounters paranormal, or could they be explained by sleep paralysis and the brain's fear response? Now, with this question, I do have to say that it's a paranormal experience because, yes, a lot of people do get they do witness shadow people during sleep paralysis. That is a common thing that does happen. And they can happen quite frequently late at night when somebody's very tired. But I have to say that I do not think it's just a sleep paralysis. I think it's definitely paranormal because it's not, for me personally, it's not just been during sleep that I have witnessed shadow people. It's not just happened at night time when I've been in bed. I've been wide awake, I've not been tired. Many a times I've seen shadows when I've been wide awake during the day. At night, it doesn't matter really. When you look at the science behind shadow people, a lot of scientists or the science theory behind it all is your brain projects images of shadow people as a response of fear. And I have to personally disagree with that one, because when I have seen shadow figures, I have not been feeling fearful. I've been quite happy at times, and there's not been anything that I could think of that could trigger my brain to project an image of a shadow figure. So when you're thinking about shadow people with sleep paralysis, often the person will experience a feeling of being watched. They will see a shadow figure and they will feel like they're unable to move. And they may also say that they have a very high, intense feeling of dread and fear. I have never really experienced a full sleep paralysis myself, but I know Yvonne has, and I'm sure hopefully she would have shared her experience with that. So to sum up the question, I do think it's more likely to be paranormal because the science doesn't explain it. Because if science suggests that it's more likely when you're tired and to happen at night, then why do many people see shadow figures during the day as well, or when they're wide awake, like myself has experienced shadow people when I've been wide awake?
If they're real, if shadow people are real, what do I believe they could be? Do you know what? I think if they're real, there's something sinister about them, isn't there? And like you see reports of like them peeking round corners, or you'll get a hand and things like that. So to me, that sounds malevolent, demonic. So if they're real, I'm going to go with demonic, malevolent entities.
So my take on that is I don't think they're residual energy. When we think about residual energy, it's often a pattern. It will tend to be a specific thing that a spirit might do, and it might be a memory that they're reenacting. So yeah, I don't think it's to do with residual energy. I'm not sure about the interdimensional beings. It's definitely something I'm open-minded to. It is a possibility, and I am quite open-minded with that one. So it could be that they are briefly intersecting with reality, with our reality. Some people have even explained shadow people as being to do with alien beings or something, something that we can't explain or we don't have any knowledge of. Another take is that they could be spiritual entities that haven't manifested properly. That I'm kind of leaning towards a little bit as well. I do kind of think, is it a spiritual entity that hasn't manifested? It's a really, really tough question because I'm not actually sure. It's just I'm giving you what I think it might more likely be. And then other people might say it's glitches in perception. So it could be something that our brains are trying to interpret something unknown. So one of the questions I do often wonder is, are shadow people intentionally hidden, or are we only catching fragments? So it's an interesting thought, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. So personally myself, I would personally say, is it something interdimensional, or is it spiritual entity that hasn't manifested properly? So I'm kind of leaning towards the possibility of those two rather than residual energy. Really hope you've enjoyed this little discussion on the world of shadow people. It's always very fascinating. I love to hear other people's stories, so please do feel free to join in the discussion and leave your thoughts or opinions. Do you think shadow people are something paranormal? Let us know in the comments. Everybody has a different opinion, and it's important that we're always respectful of everybody's opinion. Please feel free to join in. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.
So what are shadow people? a misfire of the brain in its most vulnerable state, an ancient survival instinct convincing us we're being watched, or something stranger, something that exists just beyond the limits of what we can perceive. The unsettling truth is that experiences like these refuse to fit neatly into science or the supernatural. They linger in that uncomfortable space between explanation and mystery. And maybe that's why they endure, because long after the lights are turned off, long after this conversation ends, someone somewhere will glance towards a doorway and wonder if the darkness is looking back. Sleep well.